Hello, welcome to my student support system. Today we will discuss about urinary system. This chapter we will cover in two lectures. This is first one, next will come soon. This lecture is in English and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture. Or you can visit my channel, My Student Support System. What is urinary system? The urinary system contributes to the homeostasis by altering blood composition, pH, volume, and pressure, maintaining blood osmolarity, excreting waste and foreign substances, and producing hormones. The urinary system consists of two kidneys, two ureters, one urinary bladder, and one urethra. Kidneys. The kidneys lie on posterior abdominal wall. So we have two kidneys, one on each side of vertebral column, behind the peritoneum and below diaphragm. They extend from the level of 12th thoracic vertebra to 3rd lumbar vertebra, receiving some protection from the lower rib cage. The right kidney is usually slightly lower than the left. Here you can see because there is liver on right side. They are approximately 11 cm long, 5 to 6 cm wide and 3 to 4 cm thick. They are bean-shaped structures where the outer border is convex and inner border is concave and known as hilum, and it is the place where renal arteries, renal vein, nerves and ureter enter or leave the kidney. The renal artery carry blood to the kidney, and once the blood is filtered, the renal vein take the blood away from the kidney. Structure of kidney. The covering or supporting structures of kidney are made up of three layers: renal fascia, adipose tissue, and renal capsule. The renal fascia is outer layer and consists of a thin layer of connective tissue that anchors the kidney to the abdominal wall and surrounding tissue, means it held it in place. The middle layer is called the adipose tissue, surrounds the capsule. It cushions the kidney from trauma. The inner layer is called renal capsule. It consists of a layer of smooth connective tissue that continue with the outer layer of ureter. Here you can see in this picture, this is the renal fascia, these are adipose tissue, and this is renal capsule just covering the kidney. Now, internal structure of the kidney. There are three distinct regions inside the kidney: renal cortex, renal medulla, and renal pelvis. Here you can see this is the part that is cortex, okay, outer part, and starting from here to here, this is medulla, and here it is the pelvis. Renal cortex. Renal cortex is outermost part of the kidney. In adults, it forms continuous smooth outer portion of the kidney with a number of projections known as renal column that extend down between the pyramids. The renal column is, we can say that medullary extensions of cortex that go in the medulla. The renal cortex is reddish color and it gives granular appearance, which is due to capillaries and structures of nephrons. Nephron is actually microscopic structure of kidney, and that we will discuss in next lecture. The medulla is lighter in color and has an abundance of blood vessels and tubules of the nephrons. The medulla consists of approximately 8 to 12 renal pyramids. The renal pyramids, also known as Malpighian pyramids, are cone-shaped sections of kidneys. The wider portion of the cone faces the renal cortex and the narrow one points internally towards pelvis, and this section is called renal papilla. Urine formed by nephrons flow into cup-shaped structures known as calyces via papillary ducts. Each kidney contains approximately 8 to 18 minor calyces and 2 or 3 major calyces. The minor calyces receive urine from renal papilla, which convey this urine to the major calyces. The major calyces unite to form renal pelvis. What is renal pelvis? The major calyces which unite to form renal pelvis, which then convey urine to the ureter and then to bladder. The renal pelvis forms expanded portion, upper portion of the ureter, which is a funnel-shaped structure, and it is the region where 2 or 3 calyces converge. The wall of the pelvis contains smooth muscle that are lined with transitional epithelium. Peristalsis of smooth muscle originating in the pacemaker cells in the wall of calyces propel the urine through the renal pelvis and ureter to bladder. Here you can see this is the cortex, this is medulla, and these are renal pyramids, and in between the pyramids there are extension of this cortex known as columns. Okay, renal columns. Here you can see these are. Then these are minor calyces. These pointer part are known as renal papilla. Okay, and these are minor calyces. These are major calyces. 1, 2, 3. Here 3 calyces major are there, and this is renal pelvis. This is gross structure of kidney. About microscopic structure we will discuss in next lecture, and that the link of that lecture you can get in the subscription box soon. Functions of kidney. Most important function of kidney is excretion of waste and foreign substances. By forming urine, kidney help to excrete waste substances that have no useful function for the body. Some waste excreted in the urine results from the metabolic reaction of the body. These includes ammonia, urea, bilirubin, and as urobilinogen, creatinine, uric acid from the metabolism of nucleic acid, other waste excreted in the urine as foreign substances from the diet such as drugs and environmental toxins. Next function is regulation of blood ionic composition. The kidneys help to regulate blood level of several irons, most importantly sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium, chlorides and phosphate ions. Regulation of blood pH. The kidney excrete a variable amount of hydrogen ion into the urine and conserve bicarbonate ion, which are important buffer in H concentration in the blood. Both of these activities help to regulate blood pH. Regulation of blood volume. The kidneys adjust blood volume by conserving or eliminating water in the urine. An increase in the blood volume also increases blood pressure, and decrease in the blood volume decreases blood pressure. Regulation of blood pressure. The kidneys also help to regulate blood pressure by secreting enzyme renin, which activates the renin-angiotensin aldosterone pathway. Increased renin causes an increase in the blood pressure. About renin-angiotensin aldosterone pathway we will discuss in the next lecture. must watch that also. Maintenance of blood osmolarity. By separately regulating loss of water and loss of solutes in the urine, kidneys maintain relatively constant blood osmolarity, that is 300 milliosmoles per liter. Production of hormones. The kidneys produce two hormones. Calcitriol, the active form of vitamin D, help regulate calcium homeostasis, and erythropoietin stimulate the production of red blood cells. Regulation of blood glucose level. Like the liver, the kidneys can use amino acid glutamine in gluconeogenesis, which is the synthesis of new glucose molecule. They can then release the glucose into blood to help maintain a normal blood glucose level. Now the ureters. These are the ureters which carry urine from kidneys to bladder. The ureters are the tubes that carry urine from kidneys to the urinary bladder. They are about 25 to 30 centimeter long with a diameter of 3 millimeter. The ureter is continuous with the funnel-shaped renal pelvis. It passes downwards through the abdominal cavity behind the peritoneum. Ureter passes obliquely through the posterior abdominal of the posterior wall of bladder. Because of this arrangement, when urine accumulates in the bladder, pressure rises and the ureter are compressed against the wall of the bladder. So the ureter come from the posterior side and here there are opening. So when the bladder is full, the ureters are pressed and backflow of urine from bladder to the ureter or kidney is prevented. The walls of ureter consists of three layers of tissue: an outer covering, that is fibrous tissue, continuous with fibrous capsule of the kidney, a middle muscular layer consisting of interlacing smooth muscle fibers that form functional unit around the ureter, and an additional longitudinal fibers in lower one third of the inner layer. The mucosa, which is composed of transitional epithelium. The ureters propel urine from the kidney into the bladder by peristaltic contraction of the smooth muscle layer. This is an intrinsic property of smooth muscle and not under autonomic nervous system control. Peristalsis originate in the pacemaker in the minor calyces. The peristalsis wave occurs several times per minute, increasing in the frequency with the volume of urine produced. Urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a hollow muscular organ and is located in the pelvic cavity posterior to symphysis pubis. In the male, the bladder lies anterior to the rectum, and in females, it lies anterior to the vagina and inferior to the uterus. The bladder is roughly pear-shaped but become more oval as it fills with the urine. Urinary bladder capacity averages 300 to 400 ml and it can expand maximum 750 to 800 ml. It is smaller in females because the uterus occupies the space just superior to the urinary bladder. The inner lining of urinary bladder is mucous membrane of transitional epithelium that is continuous with the ureters. When the bladder is empty, the mucosa has numerous folds called ruggi. The ruggi and transitional epithelium allow the bladder to expand as it fills. The second layer in the wall is the submucosa, which support the mucous membrane. It is composed of connective tissue with elastic fibers. Third layer is a thick muscular layer which is covered by fibrous outer layer. The three orifices are there in the bladder wall and form a trigone or triangle. The upper two orifices on the posterior wall are opening of the ureter and the lower orifice is opening into the urethra. The internal urethral sphincter, a thickening of urethral smooth muscle layer in the upper part of urethra, controls outflow of urine from the bladder. Here you can see these are the opening of ureter and this is internal urethral orifice and they form the trigone here. This is the internal urethral sphincter and this is external urethral sphincter and this is urethra. The urethra. Urethra is a canal extending from the neck of bladder to exterior at the external urethral orifice. It is longer in male, approximately 20 cm long, than in females. The female urethra is approximately 4 cm long and 6 mm in diameter. It runs downwards and forward behind the symphysis pubis and open at the external urethral orifice, just in front of vagina. The external urethral orifice is guarded by external urethral sphincter, which is under voluntary control. About male urethra, we will discuss in detail in reproductive system. So this is all about kidneys. The microscopic structure, that is nephron, we will discuss in next class. To get updates about that class or other lectures, just subscribe my channel, My Student Support System. Like my Facebook page, My Student Support System. And for making your notes, you can visit my blogger, mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.